Yo! Yeah, it's dark. It's like it's winter again, right? No. That just means it's super early and it's still summer. It's 3:24 a.m. if I need to clarify that. This was the hour later. It was supposed to be an hour earlier, but unfortunately, I'm at my buddy's shop last night, scanning the van and relearning the throttle body and stuff because he's got the scanner and the tools to do such a thing, and I don't. So I go down and hang out sometimes. It's always short-lived hangout because my bro is always like doing 200 other things. But that's okay. He made me the mechanic I am today, for the most part. He always gave me the tools and the stuff, the knowledge, the book. He's like, here's a book, read this. I'm like, I have comprehension issues. I have to read everything like 3 times before I understand it, and even then I'll read it 3 more times again after. But it's already like midsummer. I'm like, I gotta get my ass in gear. Keep thinking about it every time. I'm like, man, I haven't even pulled the car cover off my car. I can't even afford to insure my car and drive it. I'm like, man, I want to drive my vintage cars. Can't. I want to work on my other vintage cars I bought. Did I buy that? Last summer. What about that Rabbit? I want to get working on that. I want to drive that. I think it's dope. Can't wait to put some sick rims on that, lower it down a little bit, straight pipe that 1.6 diesel engine. All 50 horsepower, I think it's got. Something like that. They'll put a big old turbo and intake on it, so it'll be like... And just the hatch will be black. I know it. Because that's how they roll. But anyways, what's going on today? Why you up so early? Well, why you so chipper so early? It's alright, I started taking drugs. Just kidding. I don't. Strangely, I got the text while I was working on the van trying to fix it. What are we doing today? We got to go to the Elk River Road where Williamson Road out on the Elk. It's only like 11.4 kilometers off the end of the pavement. Turn right on Williamson, 600 meters, where we took all the P-Tanks. P-Tank Fest. Fest. And pick up a Coil, goddammit. Coil. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm trying not to. It just comes out. I'm so used to saying it all the time. Sinner. No wonder I struggle my whole life. God's like, you're a sinner and you have a filthy mouth. It's not as filthy as some. I can turn it on and off. So we gotta go out and get a Tri-Can Coil and then we're bringing it back to town. I'm hoping it's dry and it hasn't rained out there because we've been getting a lot of rain. And stay tuned, we'll get going.
The only place we are right now is on Twitter/X. So Shannon, I'll be with him in just a minute. I gotta get my fucking bearings, okay, buddy? I told him we can do it. Alright, thanks. And I'm trying to pull the feed up. Here we go. I got it right there. Boom.
calcium on it maybe in the last couple of weeks anyways. It wasn't calciumed up when we came out here last anyways. The downfall of bobtailing on gravel is anything about over 50 kilometers an hour, I start throwing rocks at myself. And, you know, don't really want to dent up my stainless. So I drive nice and slow. It's kind of a bugger. Glad it's not wet, so that's a plus. But you get some conveyor belting and just bolt it right to the top of the fenders, you know? And then run on another bar, kind of just like the mud flap bar. So I can cover my back axle so I can, you know, at least, you know, try to do the speed limit when it's smooth when I'm off-road like this, because I just hate whipping around. I got rocks landing on the hood, I got them wedged up and stuff on the roof. Lodge poles. So yeah, I need to look into that. We bought a new welder at the shop, so I'm pretty sure we're good on all fronts of welding. Can run a stick. Not that I'll need a stick for what I'm doing. I'm just gonna. So I gouged my fenders, forgetting to slide the wheel when I decked off the mid one time, like probably last year, I think. Really upset about that. I'm like, oh, what could I do to cover that up? And I was like, well, when I put on the conveyor belt, we're gonna bolt it with a bar, flat bar across the top, and put it right on top of the fenders, just ahead of the little mud flaps that I got on there. And then I'll make another bar that's kind of like the mud flap bar, not removable. Shouldn't have to remove it. I guess I can make it removable in case you want to get in there. I could just flip it up on the fender, not that I would need to really. But if you made it removable, then it's going to jiggle and wear out, right? So I think I'll just get a piece of square tubing, gusset it to the subframe and the ramps there, and then bolt it to that, which should be like mint. And then I don't have to worry about having those quarter flaps anymore on top of the fenders that just get chewed up from Jeeps and stuff. Fresh, tight coveralls. Ordered some stuff from that fourth wall. Looking forward to getting it. But I should have ordered that cool hat I made in my dad's company, but I jumped the gun and ordered stuff while I was sitting out somewhere. Oh, when I sat in Valley View overnight. They gave me credits. They're like, order your first thing, get a credit, and then you get credits for every time someone buys something, you get credit too. So I'm like, well, that's pretty sweet. Teespring gave me nothing. Sometimes they didn't even give me the stuff I ordered. Just kidding, I got it eventually. What if someone brought up the topic of not having wheel slit all the way forward when they're like scissored flat or have the mid? That gouge, that's a pretty healthy chunk. Lucky nothing got bent, but you can risk, anytime you run into, like you're doing a dip, and a lot of times with wheelers you have to dip and you got to turn. We dip the front end of the truck into the ditch a lot when we're pulling wheels, so that's the main reason why I, especially off-road, will keep my wheel back, so I clear that at all times, because you can really mess up some shit. And I actually think that's from the trombone. When we took that 14 wide to, was that just a little bit past Fort Saskatchewan there? It came off the pavement and it dropped down through the fence, and I had to super stab, and I had it slid because it's got a long neck, and then you're stretched out that much further. An old plant that I don't think they use anymore. Doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of traffic in here. No lights, no flare. Old school. I'm sure that's been there for eons. We got back from Valley View. I was home early enough, I treated myself to some new steers. This one was pretty much worn down to the wear bars. This side was still like, ow. But, well, I brought it up. I'm like, I'm eating passenger side steer tires at an alarming rate. I think I only had those on for like 3 or 4 months. Then my center axle's doing something weird. And it's not tire pressures, but all the lugs, they're wearing low in like certain spots. So they're like chunky, wavy. Anybody got any suggestions on what that might be from? I got good shocks. I don't know about the bushings, if there's any, maybe some play in there. Air pressures, I check them regularly, so I don't know. I'm at a blank for that. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I wanted to blame it on cheap, shitty tires, which we do buy the Chinese, the Salins. I've had pretty good luck with them. I know a lot of people don't like them, I get it. We're looking at every point that we could try to save money, right? Who isn't these days? Probably won't have to move. I don't know what coil we got here. Might even just have the tandem neck on it. So I might not be able to slide my wheel at all. Zip tied my airline down here. So now when I slide, it stays out of the way, because before it always coil right here in front of the slide. Run the risk of cutting it off. This is just gear oil. Same stuff you use for hubs. I can tell you've been down some rough roads. Everything is migrating out. Empty bobtail, 0, Williamson.
Raleigh on this channel.
Yes, sir.
You don't need chains in here if that's what you're doing over there. You just wait to come in.
That looks nice and dry. It's looking good.
Yep, come on in. You get under your trailer.
Roger that. Consultant, always monitoring what he's expecting us. He's like, better be there right at 7. Picker got in trouble for being early, so I would have been 10 minutes early, so I just kind of, chilled out a bit. Copy, medic.
Go ahead.
Gerald with Brawler, checking out.
What was your name? Sorry.
Gerald. 2 in the blue. Just gonna take it nice and easy, you know what I mean? Copy medic, Gerald with Brawler, check it out.
Thank you.
Loaded heavy wide, coming out to Wilson's, 0.6, going loaded. Williamson. I probably got it wrong. Booster is steering, good, yeah. I haven't set the booster up yet. We'll do that on the road because I was just want to get off lease usually. Get out of the way, you know what I mean? You want to be smooth with your shifts. There's a lot of weight backs there. You don't want to be jarring to the transmission. Flow like a butterfly. Caught me off guard. I just told him, he's like, you might have to take that trailer to Parallax, which is the one right by Lacombe there. I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine too, it's on the way. It's on the way. Hopefully I don't get a piss off a log truck. Get ran over here. Usually I like to get out of all the uneven ground before I set up the booster. This is a Coil. This is Mr. 420-104. Seen this guy a lot. A lot. Slow down, fag. I love how everybody's all about safety, but get out on the open road, look out. Unimportant. So the hydraulic arms, max those out first. I don't want to, I think this is the one that had the issues. Hopefully it's fixed. This wheel does not look straight. I hope it doesn't have an issue. Oh, I didn't put on my hazards. What happened to the flashy lights? Oh well, it's got flashy lights up there. Thought I put on my hazards. I guess I didn't. Trying to get myself ran over, huh? So, coil tubing, trailers 16, 24, and 8. Very typical for us. What does coil do? A lot of things. I couldn't even start. I got a mosquito. I don't think I got him. You'll find me later. Clean outs, plugs, like, what else? Fracking. There's endless possibilities with these. It's just a strong arm of something you can fish down line and do stuff, right? Instead of having to connect a bunch of joints. I don't know what we did before fracking. Running out of air. I do see some new parts here, if this is the same one. So that's cool. Another car that's... Thanks for slowing down, fucking assholes. And that's right, you are an asshole. If you can't slow down a little bit, move over to the opposite side, then you're an asshole. Huh, I'm pretty sure the flashy lights were working when we hooked it up. Oh, that's sweet. I got no signal on this side either. Huh. Get the WD. Thought they had strobe buttons. Oh yeah, the switch is gone. It's completely gone. Here's what's left of it. Sitting there. Huh. Must have missed that. So you let that ejaculate until it's maxed out. And then you put the air to the bags. And that gives you your lift. It's a fire extinguisher. Could have done it on the road up there. That probably would have been smarter, but thank you for slowing down. And you know you're max jacking because the suspension in here is leaking. Well, it's not leaking, it's trying to level out, you know. Seems tight. Oh. Gee, that is tight. Probably tightened it up last time I hauled it. Okay, it's in. Let's see if we won. All right, got signals. Cool. No strobes though. If we put that, yes, that is barely holding on there. We're gonna put it at 30. I've said it many times. I think these are pretty worn out. This is an older unit, so it's hard to get. It's really hard to tell what you need until you're sitting on a scale, right? So you can do it perfectly with the right amount of air pressure, because I kind of feel that maybe because there's a little bit of play down here in the pinning system, this doesn't get as much push. Therefore, you can't put as much air as you'd like to have. Most people just put like 20 pounds and call it good. The tall tale sign is where your airbags are. Dude, this has chain hangers on it. We were just talking about it. He's like, oh, I forgot to hang the axle before we lifted it with the crane. They are on there, and I'm pretty sure these are the ones they just fixed. He's like, we have to chain the axle. I'm like, that's a pain in the ass, because then I gotta get a chain. Okay, well, we'll let it percolate for a second. I'll check it again, and then we'll go. Did my pre-trip stuff while they were kind of flanging stuff up, putting stuff away, craning the booster over. I just got to fill out my paperwork. Great, now it's log central. Which is fine. I'm gonna be going slower anyways. Let the loggers go first, of course. No sense in getting in their way, even though they're gonna stop and do a wrapper check here in like 20 minutes. I will pass them by and then they'll be at my ass. Lots of skin out for that mosquito. Oh, there's another one. There he is. I want to say I got him. Holy shit. I didn't see that one coming. Oh yeah. A little bit of third action. Gonna go out Elk River, 620, Green Valley, 39. Either go down 20, or sorry, 39 to 20, which is Alsike. Damn it, I just seen him again. Oh yeah, got him that time. Alsike, 20, 20 to 12, which takes us, you know, Rimby, Bentley. Take 12 to almost Highway 2, and that's where that Parallax lease is, where we did the water minion, sand minion stuff. Did I do any of the sand minion? I don't remember. Yeah, I took a trailer and decked it off there. That was it. I loaded all that stuff. That was enough for me. be hungry. Pulling this stuff around is hard work, you know. Makes an appetite. Gets a man dub. Yes, everything's looking good. Yeah, I already stopped once. Check the booster. It was a touch high, but not too bad. I turned down just a little bit more. Let's see what she's looking like now. Oh. Well, that's worse than the last time I looked at it. What's up? It definitely looks like it dropped its hydraulics, because look at how. And it's supposed to, because I went probably through that dip. Tank. Need max boostage. And you know you're there because your air is building. And it stops ejaculating. Yeah, well, we'll go in and get something to eat. That looks a little better. See what it looks like when we come back out. Bacon and egg, or 1 hash brown, large double, 1 ketchup. You guys are looking for some ketchup? I got you covered. Fourth wall. I got a bunch of different hats, including this Ray Lynn one that I just got today in the mail. Sick. He looks happy. I ordered all this stuff on June 27th. I've received it all by July 9th. Way better than that shitty Teespring. I got some stickers too, because I'm still a child. I love stickers. This way my new hard hat doesn't have to look like I'm a noob. I made tons of other sick stuff too. If you guys are interested, there's a link in the description below. All proceeds will go towards helping nobody but myself. Maybe I can buy my first truck. Now back to our scheduled broadcast. Text me back again. It's like, well, I haven't got a time yet to go to Parallax, so just keep heading back to their yard. I'm like, okay, as long as I don't get back to the yard and then deck off and get back to the shop and be like, oh, they want to know. Oh, that's gay. Does happen though. Suspension's looking good. Oh, that is down. That is not supposed to be down. It was up when I left, I swear. Nobody said anything to me when I was pulling out, because bro was on this side watching when I pulled out, so I didn't rub up on the other truck. Too much power. Yeah, we're down on power just a tiny bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. 6 pounds boost, that's a little bit of power. I don't know what's going on there. Pyro still gets a touch hot. If I climb long enough, heavy enough, I can get it up to 11, but for most parts, these short little hills, like even that one that I videoed pulling, I only got like maybe 10, 20, 10, 50 maybe only 10, I don't know, I'm not really looking. At this point, I'm just like, let her ascend, and whatever happens, happens. Still got hot tranny too. You know, we got other things that are probably more important at the shop that they're fixing. We're just like, it's in the truck, Might as well keep going until it goes. What a fucking idiot. This is another problem you cause. Go right on down to the end there and fucking wedge yourself in. You can't see that there's a line of fucking traffic coming on when you merge. Just trucking on down the road. Dude. Well, maybe he doesn't know, but I seen an ambulance go that way. Pretty sure he was gonna hit the overpass and then come back again. I see more flashing lights coming off 11A coming this way. So everybody should just wedge themselves up in here. That's right. Here comes more going the other way. Something serious going on up here, I reckon. Red Deer Emergency Services. Yep, I smell road rage. Looks like that guy just came up and rear-ended that guy like he was angry at him or something. Looks like it's still full. Only had to readjust it twice. Checked it before I got on Highway 2 again. Lock. So I always dump all the pressure on the hydraulics, dump the air on the bag, lock her in. Hey, should be safe to whizzle around. Takes all the pressure off because we're going to be doing pretty good tight turn, and then we're going to back up. So we don't want the wheels to have all the weight on them. And we want them locked so we can back up so they don't, you know, get all crazy like. Look like doo-doo. Sorry, I just got in a Beavis and Butthead moment there. We dump the air in the suspension so we don't bend the legs. That, my friends, is the story on how you haul a coil. Pretty simple, right? Watch, I'll just about get to the shop and they'll be like, oh yeah, you can go take that coil to Parallax now. I didn't know this was happening. So yeah, a nice easy run today. Nothing to really complain about besides just getting up real early. That is norm. It's coil life. Dude, those guys would be like, yeah, we want that at midnight, 2 in the morning. Be out here for 4 a.m., pick it up. That's how coil life is. And I'm sure the guys that are working coil know it all too well as well. But they shift change, but it all depends when you start. So yeah, like always, okay, maybe not like always, but I'm thinking it. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. Who knows what kind of weird adventure we'll get to have. Not that this was weird, but first gen. Sick. Oh, it's extended cab. Gross. Whenever anybody ever bought an extended cab and turned it into regular cab, I know that would be ridiculously stupid, but I'm down for the day cab. First gen, 5-speed, 12 valve. I want one. I think that'll be like my truck someday. Everybody go on the left lane so everybody can pass you on the right. You know what's gonna happen.
Hello?
Yeah,